Yes, what I'm saying is that your philosophy falls apart upon even the slightest cross-examination, which is that, of course, there's absolute truth.
Your only fundamental truth is a book that was written thousands of years ago and translated multiple times. What do you mean?
Actually, my fundamental truth
can change with knowledge being input.
Okay, truth can change.
So in this clip, a student is claiming that objective morality doesn't exist and that objective truth can change. And wait until you hear what Charlie Kirk says, because there's some really good moments in this clip. All right, let's watch.
All right, we'll take one or two more. Oh, we got Johnny Depp here.
Hey, boss, how you doing? All right, so I had a question about something you were talking about earlier. Oh, my bad. So you were talking about science and the church and, like, separating the two? I just fundamentally don't believe that. I want to know where that came from. Because
Say that again.
Science, for me, explains God's creation.
Science, got it.
Yeah, science.
No, I never said separate. No, I said reason and revelation.
You kind of did earlier, though.
No, I never said that. I said reason and revelation are two different matrices of viewing things, and actually one can point to the other.
Okay, well, for me, I'm saying science explains the world and whatnot, right? That's why I chose science as a course.
Great.
Right.
I think science proves that God is true. I think the more that we study the human genome, the more that we map DNA, the more that we understand the miraculous improbability of our existence.
We're talking about verbiage here a second ago. Let's just talk about how science doesn't prove God. It explains God, if you anything.
Fine.
Right. Semantics, right? That's what we were talking about earlier?
Okay, sure.
What I'm saying is, why does it have any room in our political discussion whatsoever?
Oh, it has a huge role in our political discussion.
Why?
You mean politics or religion or what?
Yeah, politics. Why does religion play any role in politics?
Again, I'll go back to what I said in my opening speech. Can you have a separation of morality and state?
Yes.
Okay, explain that to me. So if we're going to pass a law,
yes,
and we're going to say, do not murder, by what standard do we believe that?
By any you which please.
By what?
Separation of church and state
I got it.
says that I can have any reason for believing that.
No.
You're
not,
trying to cut me
following.
off. Chill.
No, you're not. Hold on.
Chill.
You're not following. You have to tell me by what standard do you get that from?
Calm down. So what I'm saying is I can derive morality from any which way I do believe.
Oh, I agree with that. That's a problem.
Which means Christianity does not need to be the fundamental cause for morality. So I'm saying they should be separate 110%.
Okay, then what cause of morality do you think the state should ascribe to?
There's no basis for morality. Morality is what the collective believes.
Oh, it's what the collective believes.
Like a democracy.
Got it. So under that belief, was Hitler right to kill the Jews? They wanted it.
No.
Oh, but that's what the people believe?
Yeah, but there's more than just Germany out there. There's a whole damn world.
Okay, yeah, Soviet Union, they believe that we should imprison the Mensheviks.
There's more people than just Russia.
Okay, Mao's China. Wanted to go...
There's more people than just China. What do you not understand
actually, we're getting up at like half of the world population at this point.
First of all, so be clear about your numbers.
Hold on, calm down, smartass. Okay, so...
You're the one who doesn't know anything.
And so, wait, hold on. If you add up China's population, Russia's population, and the population of Europe...
Which all have different beliefs.
You add up like half of, the world population.
Which all had different beliefs. What are you talking about?
Right, exactly. So at some point, do you believe murder is objectively wrong?
Yeah, because the collective says it's wrong. What do you mean?
But not in every country do they say it's wrong.
That's the few in power of each of those countries. What are you talking about?
That's not correct.
That is correct. What do you mean?
See, now you're getting a little upset.
I am, because you're objectively trying to lie to the crowd.
So, again, the collective. This is not a Star Trek episode, okay? But let me walk you through this. In Nazi Germany, the body politic wanted bad things to happen to Jews.
And most of the world said that was wrong.
Okay, but the country itself said it was okay. Most of the world right now says abortion is okay. Is most of the world right?
Yeah, probably.
Oh. By what moral standard?
By the one they've collectively agreed upon.
Can the collective ever be wrong?
Probably.
So in world history...
Why are you a man being able to say this when
in world
everyone here believes God sets the mandate? So why are you trying to tell me what it is?
In world history, the entire planet for 2,000 years believed slavery was okay. Was the entire world right?
No, obviously not.
Oh,
we just talked about morality being wrong by the collective occasionally.
Well, okay, I think slavery and mass murder is pretty wrong, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so again, when the collective gets things wrong, then maybe we shouldn't appeal to the collective, because the collective has given us really evil things over the years. Instead, we should appeal to something higher than us, something greater.
Has Christianity ever led to anything evil?
Of course, you can use a shovel to dig a ditch or to murder somebody.
What I'm saying is Christianity has no merit above the collective.
Of course it does. By what?
How?
Well, first of all,
that's not the word of God. That's the word of men describing the word of God.
Okay, that's a separate issue if you want to discuss that. But I do ask the question, what faith did the founding fathers have?
Separation of church and state.
Okay, again, that actually that's not in the Constitution.
All right, those words explicitly were not in there.
Yeah, and just so we're clear, do you know where that phrase came from?
People escaping religious persecution from their home countries.
Right, so it was Thomas Jefferson's letter to the Danbury Baptist Convention guaranteeing them that the state will not come after them.
He also had slaves, so how is he inherently right? You said people make mistakes.
Of course they can, but that's not even the contention I was making. I was saying that's the origination of the term. John Adams famously said, the Constitution, the structure that we care about, is only compatible with a moral and religious people. When the American people are no longer moral or religious, the promise of the Constitution starts to fall apart. And again, I will kind of go back.
Semantics or. Not moral and religious, moral or religious. People can derive morality outside of religion.
Okay, again, you might come to a conclusion with a blindfold on, but that's a bad way to be able to find truth.
But you're taking your own bias into account, are you not?
So I do have to, and by the way, just so we're clear, John Adams didn't own slaves, so you should also take what he says.
I didn't say John Adams.
No, I know, I'm just saying you should take what he takes more seriously. But I do want to get down more fundamentally. In the 20th century, we saw mass murder in China, in Vietnam, in the Soviet Union, in Nazi Germany, all because they believed the collective morality is correct. Does any of that make you have pause that maybe we should appeal to something greater?
You're also describing places where they had power consolidated at the top.
Well, okay, because the people largely gave it to them, right?
Not necessarily.
Well,
you guys complained for years about a rigged election. You can't think that happened beforehand, before technology was so abundant?
Okay, again, we're now conflating like 3 separate topics.
No, you're talking about a new issue, and I'm converting to the issue with you.
So if today, let's do a hypothetical.
Okay.
If today, so actually in 1840.
Okay, that's not now.
Okay, let's even say today. If today all of a sudden there was an up or down vote and people want to bring back, let's just say indentured servitude, would the collective be wrong?
Probably, and I would speak out against that too.
By what definition of wrong are you appealing to?
My own sense of morality that's not derived from religion.
See, this is where you get this, now the final revealing. He's now revealed himself.
What revealed?
It's your opinion versus their opinion. We as Christians believe there's something above both of us that we appeal to.
And I agree with that. I don't agree with your sense of morality. Your sense of morality is a bastardized of the church word.
Okay, fair.
100%.
Not fair enough, but I'm going to go to...
Okay.
But one final thing. Wouldn't we both agree then we need objective transcendent morality to live under?
Objective cannot exist in morality. That is opinionated.
Okay, so therefore, murder cannot objectively be wrong. Child rape cannot objectively be wrong. It's just an opinion.
That is not anything what I just said.
No,
you put those examples forward.
That's actually what I said, right? Let's take child rape.
You're talking about a very deep You're talking about a very deeper issue that is a...
No, it's actually exactly where this conversation is going.
You're talking about philosophy here, which is beyond the scope of the conversation we're having with it. Is that not philosophy?
It's very... Well, religion is a form of philosophy.
No, it's not. It's a form of religion.
So what does the word philosophy mean? The word philosophy means what?
A
love?
definition of morality.
Let's go back to Greek.
Outside of religion.
What does philosophy mean, everybody? Philos, love. Sophos, wisdom. The love of wisdom. And where do you get wisdom from? The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
I would argue
Christianity and philosophy are directly connected.
Absolutely not. Wisdom comes from experience. The word of God comes from the bastardization of man. Who wrote the passages in the Bible? Man.
Well, he transcribed them.
That's the same. Oh, sorry. That's the same thing. I'm sorry. That's my bad. I'm sorry.
By what moral standard was it wrong to swear?
I don't find it to be wrong. Personally, I think every adult here cusses, and it's not objectively wrong.
If it's not wrong, why'd you apologize?
Okay, that's fine.
No, if it's not wrong...
Are you ever going to apologize?
Well, I'm sorry, hold on. But why, if it's not, this is important. Why would you, if it's not wrong, why'd you apologize for swearing? There's something in you that said this is wrong.
Because the collective of this room said it's wrong, and I try not to do.
No, they didn't. There wasn't a vote. There wasn't a scorecard like don't vote, like don't swear, not swear.
Who clapped with Christianity?
Okay, yes.
Oh, now they're silent.
Yeah, but they...
Christianity inherently has taught me throughout my youth Not to swear. Not
Has
to cuss.
has that been a good thing or bad thing for humanity?
I think it's neutral. I think it makes no difference.
I think it's a good thing we teach people to restrain their tongues. I think it's a good thing for self-control. I think it's a good thing that we teach that your words really matter and that you shouldn't just say whatever you want to say whenever you want to say it. And the fact
I agree with that.
Well, hold on. The fact you interrupted yourself shows that actually the Christian inheritance without you knowing it creates better actions. Because it creates better behavior.
Yeah, I've also seen Christians do the worst shit I've ever seen.
Of course, but how do you know it's bad? You know it's bad because
my own sense of morality. We've been over this.
Right, and Hitler's sense of morality has killed the Jews. If we all have our own...
And the collective said that's not right.
Well, actually, they didn't. He was democratically elected. It's not true.
Of that country. There's more people in a country, dog.
Yes. Again, lots of countries can make collectively awful and terrible decisions.
Right.
And so when a country does that, and again, just so we're clear...
That also happened in the past,
you are
mistakes,
unintentionally minimizing the Holocaust, which is fine, but you're unintentionally...
How?
Because you're saying, oh, it's just one country, it's just one thing. First of all, Hitler took over like all of Europe. It wasn't just one country.
Through military strength, not through democracy.
Right, but he believed he was right.
Right, and the rest of the world said, you're not.
Well, actually, that's not true. At first, Russia said he was...
Why did the U.S. get into World War II?
Time out. At first, Russia said he was right, and then they changed their mind.
Oh, yeah.
Italy said he was right. Imperial Japan said he was right. The whole world was not united against Hitler.
And I put that
until,
on the...
time out.
Okay.
The whole world was
you,
not
sir.
against Hitler until two original Anglo-Christian nations, Britain and America, decided to tell him to stop.
Where the
so the whole world was...
they...
Nope, not correct. The entire world was not united against Hitler. In fact, every major power was trying to cozy up to him.
You are talking about the word of the men that were leading those countries, not the people themselves.
Again,
you still ignore the people's word. I know 75 million people voted or whatever, but there's more people than 75 million in America. I'm so sick of this conversation of the majority. I'm talking about the majority with the election, people. 75 is not a majority of 350. That's math.
Mr. Pirate, you brought up the collective, just to be clear.
Yes. And I also said the collective can be wrong.
Again, we go back to the moral standard of
There's
what
no
is wrong.
absolute truth over here.
Yes, there
You're
is.
trying to say
Do you believe that absolutely?
You got me.
Do you believe it absolutely? You said if there's no absolute truth, do you believe it absolutely?
Personally, but there is no absolute on the collective.
Wait, hold on. So you absolutely...
My personal beliefs do not dictate the rest of the world.
Well, hold on. So you absolutely believe that there's no such thing as absolute truth, therefore showing that there is absolute truth.
Okay,
because that's a truth claim.
Thank you, boss.
Yes, what I'm saying is that your philosophy falls apart upon even the slightest cross-examination, which is that, of course, there's absolute truth.
Your only fundamental truth is a book that was written thousands of years ago and translated multiple times. What do you mean?
Actually, my fundamental truth
can change with knowledge being input.
Okay, truth can change. I'll wrap up in a sec.
Okay, boss.
Truth can change. Can an adult become an infant?
But you sure act like one.
Oh, thank you. That's sharp.
I thought I'd throw that out there. Look,
so
you're talking about semantics of someone else's life. You're talking about semantics of someone else's life where neither of us have a word to say
We will go
about
to the next question. I will close with this on this, and we'll end one more. This is the moral confusion that happens if Christians do not contest in the public square. This right here. Thank you very much.
I'm Christian.
To say that there's no absolute truth in itself is a contradiction, right? Because is that the absolute truth? So what he's saying contradicts itself, so it doesn't make any sense. And to say that absolute truth can change is absurd, because it's like saying 2 + 2 is 4, can be 2 + 2, can be 6, can be 8. And we all know that's not true. Unfortunately, there is black and white. And there are definitely a lot of things that are in between. There are gray areas. But there's some things that will not change, regardless how we feel about it. Right? So absolute truth does exist. There is black and white. The hurting of an innocent child will always be wrong. Murder will always be wrong. There are things that will always be wrong, regardless of what society says. Right? There's one point in our country, it says that it was right to own slaves. That a black person was worth 2/3 of a person, and majority of people thought that was right. But does that mean that it was right? No, obviously not. And so there has to be a God that created objective morality. There has to be truth, or else this world wouldn't function, because then everything is relative. We can't know anything. And if we can't know anything, then everything just kind of collapses. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. Please click the like button, subscribe, and share with somebody. We appreciate you guys all, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. God bless.